Let's get started. We've got a lot to talk about,
Yeah.
namely A Pale Blue Dot, which is only a few weeks away now.
Yes.
There's
Correct.
a lot to be interested in with this new album. It sounds really, really fascinating with the influence, the Carl Sagan influence, and all that kind of thing. Um, what specifically influenced you in writing around this subject?
So the actual album title arrived only at the end of the writing process, actually, because um, we were looking for the right title for this collection of songs that were all very personal, and what they had in common though was the actual human being, right?
Yeah,
So at the time we were speaking with the band and trying to find the perfect title to represent us as mankind
hmm
with all the bad and good things about us. So we are all very big fans of Carl Sagan work, of course, and
yeah,
we were all very inspired, also outside of the band. So we just noticed that he managed to have the perfect title for us. So we combined this with our passion for his work and just used it. We wrote
cool.
it to the right holders of his book to ask for the
Okay.
permission, and then we did it.
Oh, that's good. That's nice as well that you took the time to ask for permission. A lot of bands would just take it. So
Yeah, they can also do that because
yeah,
initially we were about to use a sample of his voice, and that
Mm.
we couldn't do that without asking. Then we ended up not using that, but
Mm.
still, we felt like it was important to do.
Yeah. It's just respectful. So,
Yeah, of
yeah.
course.
And it's been 5 years actually since your last album, Vibrant. Um, why did it take so long in between albums?
Um, so after Vibrant, we felt like we needed to understand what we wanted to do next, and
Okay.
that's not always very easy.
Mm.
Especially at the time, it was 2017. At the time, the discography was changing so fast that
Mm.
we really didn't have a clear idea if we wanted to sign another record deal or just go on by ourselves, because the times were changing and streaming is everything today.
Yeah.
So we did some experiments before deciding. So we started producing one single every year until
hmm
now, to see how it would go and how it would be just going out there alone
Yeah.
and relying entirely on our audience.
Yeah.
That's what we did for the past 3 years, and it worked out perfectly for us. We finally felt like super free to do whatever we wanted to do, to manage things very personally on every aspect of it,
Mm.
and release whenever we want, produce the music however we want, take
Yeah.
long as we wanted to, because we arrived at a point where we felt like art is our main focus,
Yeah.
and we want to keep it that way. We don't want to. We just want to share this with our fans, and
Yeah.
we want to give them and ourselves the best we can do at this particular moment. That's
Yeah.
how the album came about.
Cool. It's a really good way to sort of gauge the fans' reaction as well, because obviously in a space of 5 years between Vibrant and A Pale Blue Dot, there will just naturally be changes to songwriting or guitar tone and things like that. So rather than just wait and then have this completely brand new, which not completely brand new, but a different take on things and just
Yeah.
sort of shock people, it's a gradual process then, which a lot of bands probably could have used.
hmm
But yeah. So musically, what would you say separates the Pale Blue Dot from Vibrant?
Um, those are two very different albums, in my opinion,
Yeah.
because the writing process and the production process were very, very distant one from another.
Mhm.
When we did Vibrant, we absolutely loved the record, but sometimes when we were writing it, we felt like we were trying to go somewhere that we didn't know.
Yeah.
So we started trying new things, and that was really exciting. But then we felt like we were changing every song so much before the release, over and over again.
Yeah.
And that felt a little bit unnatural. We weren't used to it, especially coming from the previous record, which is The Gift of Life.
Mm.
And we wanted to recapture that time and that era of The Gift of Life with this new record. So what did we have to do? We had to just start from zero again, and then just decide on a deadline with no song written, and just start writing as fast as we could. And that and songs just kept pouring out, and we were impressed because we usually take like 1 year or 1.5 years to write before recording, and that's very slow, and I know that. But this time we managed to do everything in a 5 month span, which is very fast for our standards. So we're really impressed.
Cool. I mean, obviously it's still too early to say because A Pale Blue Dot isn't even out yet. But are you satisfied with the current sort of direction and things that you're taking? This could lead on to the next album, or do you think you'll continue to experiment a bit more?
We are always experimenting, because the best things that we've done right now and in the past also always came from that. I mean, whenever we started just not taking, influences from our own kind of music, and we started like really expanding our boundaries, that's where we really felt like we can do whatever we wanted. We did that with The Gift of Life. It sounded right. We did that with this one, and I feel like we reached that type of confidence where we can just go and try things because we know when we are sure about things.
Yeah. Obviously, so far you've had 2 singles released, Lightbringers and Shanghai Nights. There was also a playthrough video for Lightbringers. How well do you think these songs represent the album as a whole?
The album is very varied, in my opinion. So it's let's say it's very hard to find a song that represents the whole sound of it. And that's the case. That's always the case with a Dreamshade record. I mean, it's very hard to have 2 songs that sound alike. But I would say they represent the attitude that this album has in terms of approaching songwriting.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely tell when listening to it that there's like this feeling of liberation in both songs,
Correct.
even though both songs are very different. It's they both kind of have like a journey feel, not the band, but so very interesting music, definitely. And you mentioned labels beforehand. This has been released through Horang Music, I believe.
Yes.
I looked them up, and the only release I could find was this album.
Yes, they are our management. They are just our management company, and they are in our team since 2014, I guess. So we're just friends, and we work together. So we are actually releasing the album on our own. We are our own label now.
Okay, I didn't know if that is the case or not, because I looked it up, and there's a website as well, and there was another band on there. So I was like, is it their label? I don't know. It's one of those questions I hate asking because I'm going to look like an idiot either way. So.
Yeah. No, the actual label is Dreamshade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. The artwork for the album is gorgeous. It's really, really nice.
Thank you. I love it.
Problem. Who did the artwork this time around?
So it's called Intuitive Design.
Okay.
The name of the artist, which I'm a very big fan of, is Dixon Young, which is a guy in Malaysia.
All right.
And he's a terrific artist. Like he has all this space influenced digital art that he's doing that is just incredible. I love his use of colors. I love his use of subjects and the way he represents humanity. So I've wanted to work with him for a while. It took some time. We actually work on the full artwork for the CD and also for the vinyl, which are a little bit different, for a couple months, I'd say. Oh. It's been a long journey, but we just wanted to take the time because of the pandemic. We just wanted to take the time to do everything perfectly as we wanted to do it. And I couldn't be prouder. It's great.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It really is. And I like artwork like that when it comes to metal as well, because with Space you have such a varied, not objects because they're not objects, but you have different subjects to discuss, and so there is that great feeling of wonder and liberation that you can have, but also there's black holes and shit like that. It's just more terrifying than demons and shit. So,
absolutely.
Obviously we mentioned the pandemic there. How much of an effect did it have on this album?
It actually shifted the whole process for 1 year. Wow. Because we finished the writing of the record around January, February to 2020. So the pandemic was actually starting. We live in Switzerland, so we're very close to the Italian border. So we sensed it was about to change everything. So we were supposed to go to Denmark at the end of March to mix the record with Jacob Hansen. And that could never happen because all the flights were canceled. All our plans were canceled for the year. So the mixing process took so much longer because it was done on Skype.
Oh, right.
Like we're checking now. So it's been crazy. But at the same time, we found another way to think about things. And I feel like that helped a lot the record because we had more time to work on everything.
Cool. It gives you that freedom there. It's less of a time limit where you can really examine it and look at in a similar way to like a Carl Sagan essay. He would have gone over that and made sure it was what it was to say, that you have that same option with the music. So that's pretty cool. So just finally then, obviously things are in the shit right now, but do Dreamshade have any plans in place to promote the album? Are you going to be doing like a live stream show or anything like that?
We're actually thinking about some options that we have. We still haven't decided yet because we wanted to see what would the possibility of playing live would be in the next months. It doesn't seem possible for now. Yeah. So maybe something on the internet could be an option for us, definitely.
Yeah.
But it's not decided yet.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to keep your options open and gauge the situation.
For now, we're actually looking into music videos more.
Okay. Yeah, because it's been more like a visualized videos for the two singles so far. So to have like a more visual representation, it kind of makes up for not being able to get out like that.
Yeah. There are so many different shades in this record that a lot can be done with video material. So we're actually spending more time in looking into it, and more singles are coming before the release of the record. So stay tuned.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I like the artwork so much, actually, is because there's so many different shades and colors on there that it tells you straight away that it's not going to be a black and white album, so to speak. It's going to be a mixture of all kinds of things.
It's great that you noticed that, because that was actually what we thought when we thought about this. We wanted to represent the very different shades of the music visually, which is never easy for no band. It's very hard.
Yeah. Well, Fernando, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today, mate. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me, man. It's great.
Problem. And best of luck with the album, because it's going to be I think one of the most interesting albums of the year, just going on the information that we have and talking to you today. It's going to be a real ear-opening experience, so to speak. So.
Wow, I'm very glad that you think so, because we really poured our hearts into this and wanted to do the best thing that we've ever done.
Yeah.
But let's see what the audience thinks.
Yeah.
I'm really confident. But thank you very much.
No problem, mate. Anytime. Best of luck.